Today we are going to be reading from another section of this book, In Love at Ease. I have to crouch a little bit, maybe. Or let me just move it. This book was gifted to me by one of our participants, Sky Guardian. It is from his childhood spiritual organization, which is based around the devotion of a figure who was very revolutionary in the 19th century, the turn of the 19th century, known as Swami Narayan. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, whom this book is about, is one of the successors to that organization, and this is In Love at Ease, everyday spirituality with him. The author, Yogi Trivedi, which is in turn a devotee of Pramukh Swami, is sharing some love stories that has happened throughout Swami Sri's life. Swami Sri's love was mindful, detailed, and attentive. Let's listen to this story from the second chapter, In Love. In 2001, a monstrous 7.9 magnitude earthquake rattled Gujarat, killing over 30,000 people and injuring more than 120,000. It left the nation in shock, unsure how to respond. However, in less than an hour following the earthquake, Pramukh Swami Maharaj organized for the community's kitchens to serve snacks and meals at the BAPS Mandir in Bhuj, the epicenter of the earthquake. BAPS charities served the needs of people in Bhuj and the surrounding areas for years after the earthquake. It rebuilt 18 villages as well. The facts are impressive, but it is one moment that best illustrates Pramukh Swami Maharaj's attention to detail and the depth of his love. It was around 11:45 p.m., and the raised town of Bhuj was mostly silent. Even the collector's office, the one sign of government presence left in the city, had turned in. A single cell phone ring pierced the silence. Brahma Viharidas Swami, who was spearheading the efforts in Bhuj, answered the call. And, to his astonishment, it was Pramukh Swami Maharaj. The conversation was as follows. "Swami Sri, why are you still awake?" he asked. Swami Sri was focused on those in need. "I was just thinking of how people were going to cook, clean, and eat." Brahma Viharidas Swami reassured him, "We have prepared starter kits that have cooking utensils, groceries, and other necessities to help them start anew." Swami Sri was not convinced. "What about hygiene? Make sure you include nail cutters and razors in those kits." Brahma Viharidas Swami was startled by the suggestion. "Swami Sri, no one is thinking about these details. Nail cutters? Really?" "Of course. Normalcy and routine are key to healing. I have been thinking about how to help these families feel like they are recovering and on the path to normalcy. And, Brahma Vihari, some of these families may feel shy coming to shelters to ask for food. They have probably never had to do so before. Make sure you have our volunteers deliver food to them, even if it costs us a little more. Make them feel cared for with love and attention, not like it is some chore or responsibility for us. Serve them like you are serving me, He's the big guru, head of the organization, BAPS. Like you are serving Bhagwan Swami Narayan. They have been through a lot. Give them love and respect. The conversation ended with Brahma Viharidas Swami being left astounded by Swami Sri's commitment to serve as if each earthquake survivor was the divine. 20 years later, he remembers asking himself as the phone call with his guru ended, "Really? A nail cutter?" BAPS and BAPS charities humanitarian initiatives have deeply impacted the communities they have served around the world. Their service initiatives have flourished on a foundation of personal touch and love, infused and directed by Pramukh Swami Maharaj. This attention to detail, coupled with genuine focus on emotional needs and self-respect, are the essence of the organization's vast volunteer force and its spirit of service. Selfless love can be an effective pedagogical tool, even for those who require difficult, explicit instructions. Swami Sri never wanted anything in return, and therefore could speak plainly. He prescribed a tone and style based on the disposition and sensitivities of those whom he was instructing. Swami Sri had landed in Chicago a few days prior to commencing his spiritual tour in North America. I had not cooked for Swami Sri under the guidance of his personal cook, Krishna Vallabh Das Swami, in over a year at that point. Nor had I practiced much in between while in New York. I was, admittedly, out of form. That evening, I requested him to rest his ailing back and volunteered to make a few of the food items. I prepared khichdi, rice with moong lentils, kadhi, curry made from gram flour and curd, paratha, lightly fried flatbread, cauliflower, and potato subzi, cooked vegetable dish, spinach and moong lentil subzi, and lightly salted steamed broccoli. I'm hungry. The only problem was that I had forgotten the practical application of lightly salted. Swami Sri started his meal with broccoli that evening. He did not say a word. Krishna Vallabh Das Swami served him more broccoli because the doctor had recommended greens abundant in vitamin K and potassium for Swami Sri's diet. Swami Sri again did not comment. He eventually asked the attendant sadhu to serve the spinach and said, "There was a slight problem, though. The spinach was too salty as well." Hello, Loopy Lane. Oblivious to this exchange, I walked into the room to serve Swami Sri a warm paratha when I noticed him having an animated conversation with Krishna Vallabh Das Swami. "Did you make the broccoli and spinach? Why not try a piece?" The attendant sadhu was silent. As my culinary guru, he was protecting me, but Swami Sri persisted. Krishna Vallabh Das Swami softly answered, "It was that kid." Swami Sri was in a teaching mood. "Which kid? There are so many traveling with us." He danced around the question without giving a direct answer. It was in that moment I approached them with the paratha. Krishna Vallabh Das Swami looked at me with a disappointed expression. Swami Sri immediately realized that I was that kid. He asked me to come closer and said, "Here, Try a piece of the broccoli. In fact, take it back to the kitchen and try it there. The spinach, too. I tried to respond, but Swami Sri did not say anything further in front of the approximately 100 bhaktas, devotees, sitting in front of him. The reports and presentations resumed, and Swami Sri finished his meal. In the meantime, I returned to the kitchen and tried both vegetable preparations. As soon as the vegetables touched my tongue, I nearly retched. Both had more than double the anticipated amount of salt. I knew that even though Swami Sri did not say anything to me in front of the other bhaktas, Krishna Vallabha Swami was going to give me an earful for my mistake, because he would feel personally responsible for ruining Swami Sri's meal. I felt guilty and was shaking with embarrassment. What had I just done? That's very sweet of you to share, Alicia. Know that it is not me who has done anything. I merely provided the space for you to feel comfortable in. And that allowance on your part is not an effort that I can take credit for. And that goes to everyone here. If you feel like you value what is shared here, then that act of you finding something valuable, that is yours to take credit for. And therefore, I cannot say you're welcome, but I can say I'm proud of you. And let us continue. Only a few paragraphs left until we open unto our regular format. The attendant sadhu walked in the kitchen as if nothing had happened. He looked at me and said, "Go easy on the salt, Yogi. Green leafy vegetables with high potassium or sodium content retain more salt than other vegetables. You know that. Next time, start with less and then work your way up." I nodded and apologized with tears in my eyes. He was unusually quiet and calm. I thought he would have been more upset. That night, Swami Sri called me into his room while I was standing outside and advised, "Yogi, green leafy vegetables retain salt. I am sure Krishna Vallabha Swami passed on my message. I do not mind that my food was salty, but I do mind that the food offered to Hare Krishna Maharaj in his evening offering was inedible. And that is what troubles me. If you are not sure, taste it before you offer it to the divine." I fell at his feet and apologized profusely. The Guru tapped me on the head and asked, "Why are you so dismayed when I am not?" "I just wanted to make sure that we perfected your cooking skills, or Krishna Vallabha might not be too pleased." We both started laughing. As I was walking out of the room, he asked, "Did Krishna Vallabha say anything to you?" I shook my head and said, "Barely. I was surprised." He smiled approvingly. It was not until later that week that I learned why Krishna Vallabha Swami had not scolded me that evening. Swami Sri had told him not to say a word to me. Not only did Swami Sri avoid reprimanding me in public, but he also told the sadhu not to express his anger to me. Instead, he privately called me into his room and used it as a teaching moment to bond, forgive, and refine my cooking skills. This lesson in pedagogy shaped my exchanges with students when I became an educator at the university level almost a decade later. I'm happy you like the change G to infinity. Just a bit of an experiment. Final 2 paragraphs. Swami Sri taught profound life lessons through simple gestures and silence. He was able to effectively teach because he always added an ounce of love. Swami Sri was at the old Nayasden Mandir in 1991, which sits across from where the new architectural marvel is now. Jaydeep Swadia was sitting in the front row where Swami Sri was having his routine afternoon walk. Children and teens were performing bhakti, loving devotion, poetry, and song. And hundreds of bhaktas, devotees, had gathered for darshan, the witnessing. Simple and all too trusting, Jaideep is a professional musician and one of the premier voices in the devotional music industry in Mumbai. Jaideep is an equally giving and generous person as well. Swami Sri knew others had taken advantage of Jaideep's kindness and generosity. The sadhus had informed Swami Sri about another such incident. You share that the music is a little loud. Jensing, how is it now? Now that the music has come to pass, I hope it is better. But you let me know if the next song is too loud and I can turn it down for you. Swami Sri walked up to Jaideep and stopped in front of him. He showed the young musician how to move ahead in life, literally. With his own 2 feet, Swami Sri took 1 step forward, looked around, and advised, "With each step you take forward, look around, make sure that you are not at risk. Then take the next one. Do not be afraid to walk back if you see a hazard. Ask me. I am always here for you." Swami Sri took another step forward. He repeated this action a few times before retiring to his room. Today, Jaideep is a successful vocalist in Mumbai's music industry. Every time he takes a step forward, he recalls Swami Sri's orange, soft felt slippers move forward and backwards in front of him, a gesture of caution to be remembered forever. I'm very happy you've been enjoying this fantastic book, as you say, Feline. That makes me happy. You share you're having less panic attack. Well, I am happy to hear that your panic is passing. It always does. And Usha, you are wondering, is Swami Sri an incarnation of God Vishnu? It's a good question. I am sure that Swami Sri possesses many of the same virtues that Vishnu is said to possess. And so you could see some aspect of him in Swami Sri. It is said that who he is devoted to, Bhagwan Swami Narayan, is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And there was a kind of passing down through guru-disciple transmission of that Shakti, that power. And it is said that the Akshar Brahman of Bhagwan Swami Narayan was passed on to Pramukh Swami Maharaj, and then now to the current successor, Mahant Swami Maharaj. But the concept of Akshar Brahman is not something I'm familiar with, so I'm only repeating words that I've heard myself, but haven't contemplated on their meaning.